So, a couple of things. Before I show this video, I took another active trade, and I cut it short for the sake of the video, but I did end in profit. So that's what it's all about. Getting the reps in, knowing when to push the trade button and buy or sell based on the 4 metrics. So the metrics let us know when to take a trade. And this is the thing I want to point out. It's not just for beginners, even though that's what I've been saying. It's some people who are experienced at trading. And here's some of the things that it positions you to be able to do more strategically, because it already has that built into the system as well. So those who are experienced at trading, you're gonna win big just because of that alone. You're gonna know things that we won't know. Very important. Secondly, I gotta shout out somebody on how they've done since joining, and they're just doing the copy trade, or the not copy trading, what am I talking about, where they're actually doing the demo trading as well. But I gotta shout out the queen for what she's been doing. So then I'm gonna do that and get into the trade. Let's go. And if you want access to the tool, you know what to do, so do what you know. Link down below. Let's go. So shout out to the queen. Her name is Angela, aka Angie. She did some demo trades. She sent me a screenshot, and I was like, hey, let me know, tell me a little bit more. So she elaborated on what she's been doing, just kind of paying attention to the signals, the trades, pretty much the resistance and support areas. And she made some significant trades that made some decent profits in her account, some strong profits. And this was all within, I believe, a day's time frame, because she's trying to get as many reps in as she possibly can. She said the first trade she was up 410. The other one, she said, went for the worst. But to recover the way that she did and then win, salute to her tapping in. And at first, when she got access to the tool, she was like, yeah, I'm diving in. I'm hoping that my brain don't explode, because she felt like it was a lot of new information. But nonetheless, she pushed through. And that's what it's all about. Pushing through and learning the skill set that makes you an asset all from getting access. If you want access, it's down below. Let's go. All right, so I previously did a video where I showed a buy signal that I took. I took out profits early. And if you see this big white bar right here, it definitely would have hit that previous take profit. So a person who kept their money in there based on the A+ setup would have been in profit. So it ended up working out. I just took mine early, and you got to be okay with whatever decision you make. So I placed the trade here right now instead of loss, but that yellow line represents what the preferred entry was based on the signal. This is the confirmation buy, and the reason why I took it is because it was an A+ setup. What represents an A+ setup is 4 metrics being met. You're looking at the daily bias. If it's bullish, you want the signal to be a buy signal, and the daily bias is green and bullish. So the signal was buy, confirmation buy. So those two things match. You want green trending. It is trending green. That matches. Then you want the green momentum bar, meaning money is in the market. That matches. That represents an A+ setup with a higher probability of hitting take profit 1. Now, what I'm doing is trying to get as many trades as I can as possible, but I want to be in profit even for a person who has a small account. So I may be taking my profits earlier than the TP1 just so I can get the reps in and get to 100 trades and really get into actually trading with real money, but me having at least a strategy to get money out of the market. If you want access to this strategy, this system, this tool that positions you to learn how you can look for A+ setups and hit trade with a little more confidence than just guessing, then the link is down below. If you're already a great trader, this helps you as well, because there's other things built into the tool that you'll recognize and understand, and it gives you so many different strategies. The orb strategy, I forgot to add it in the other video, but it gives you a lot of other strategies as well, and hopefully I remember to add it to this video. Long story short, it's good for the newbie as well as somebody who's experienced but just needs some other things that can complement what they already know and make them even more profitable. So that's what this tool is all about. It also includes a bot, and people have been favoring the bot. People have been loving the bot, and you control the bot. You can pause the bot. You can take profits when you see the bot in profits. You can stop the bot from trading because you're not liking what you're seeing. But if you let the bot run, it may benefit you, but you are in control. That's the main thing that I want you to understand. Keeping the power in your hands, not leaving it to someone else. Because like I always say, if you give a person the ability to feed you, you also give them the ability to starve you. So you want to be learning the game of trading, and these tools allow you to learn, but also give you higher probabilities than a person who's starting from scratch. If you can count to 4, if you know your colors, you got internet access and devices, then you can at least get in the game of trading and position yourself to be profitable. This is not financial advice, no guarantees. Everybody's scenario is different, etc. You know the rules. But this positions you to have a higher chance because you're using a tool that could position you to do what you need to do and make money. And then as you learn and certain terminology starts to make more and more sense, then it helps you even more. So right now we're in the trade. We've been in the trade for a few minutes now. This is the 5-minute chart. Typically I trade on the 2-minute, but the 5-minute is where the buy signal showed up. So each bar represents 5 minutes. And when the bar switches, it lets you know the direction that it's heading in that moment. So right now we got 4 minutes and some change left in this bar, but I typically trade in the 2 minutes. So sometimes it's okay to flip between minutes just to see what's going on and get an idea. It doesn't change anything about the trade itself. I've already entered the trade, but sometimes it gives you a different viewpoint to know, oh, every 3 minutes, this is what has happened. Let's go to the 2 minutes. And sometimes it may position you to, catch something beforehand. And on each of these charts, it's telling a different story based on the time frame that you're in. So as you get familiar, you'll start determining what, works best for you. What strategy are you wanting to implement? Right now, I'm just switching through time frames just so I can just see what's going on. And not each of these time frames produce a signal, a buy signal, by the way. So sometimes you might see a buy signal on a different time frame than some of the others. Now, waiting on my indicators to show up here, but they're not showing up. Maybe my Wi-Fi is spotty. But long story short, not every time frame will produce a buy signal. In the 5-minute time frame, I actually had a buy signal, and yeah, my internet must be spotty. So I'm gonna get out. Okay, there we go. But I still want the indicator. So the 5-minute time frame produced a buy signal here, but the other time frames didn't. So that's important to pay attention to as well. Sometimes you might just have to click different time frames and see, oh, we got a buying opportunity. Then you may drop back down to a 2-minute time frame just so you can, see a little bit more movement from a bar for bar standpoint. And that could be helpful to you as well. Now, what just happened there? Okay, yeah, the internet has to be spotty. So I'm gonna try to wrap this video up soon because the name of the game is not overstaying your welcome. If you see the opportunity to get some profits, get you some profits based on whatever your daily goal is or your trading goal is at that time, and be okay with it. Be okay with it. The name of the game is just getting money out of the market that you didn't necessarily have to go clock in for. And then you get in a practice of compounding that money, growing that money, developing the skill set, you becoming more of an asset by you having access to this tool. So we're going to see how it play out for a little bit longer and then decide what we want to do. I can very easily let it run if I wanted to see it hit the TP, but I'm on a mission to take as many trades as possible to get my 100 trades in, pay attention to it. This is me documented actually, because typically you're supposed to be taking notes and writing down what you notice. Well, if I'm recording it, then this is definitely superior to notes because I'm able to go back and literally see what was going on, what my thought process was, what my knowledge base was at the time, limited. And, as I continue to grow, it'll become a little bit more profound, but I still want to communicate from a level of understanding so that way, listen, as a newbie, if you don't know everything, you can still position yourself for profits. If you know how to point out 4 things, what's the daily buys? Did I get a buy signal? What's the momentum and the trend at the moment? You can do this. So that being said, within a time frame of 7 minutes, $12 could have been made had I secured that right then and there. But it can go a lot further. But for video purposes solely, I'll be taking those trades, not solely, but I'll be taking profits a bit sooner because I want to grow small accounts and show people how they can with chunks of time. But of course, if you hold it longer and you let it get here, then it will be bigger profits as well. So it's okay to lean into your decision. You took an A+ setup, you can't get mad at the fact that if you strive for take profits, and you just let it ride, at least you did it strategically. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and take these profits to conclude the video. But that was, 7 minutes give or take, and we're in a trade that long and made, about 17
bucks, which equates to, if you think about it from an hourly standpoint, which equates to, say, let's just say it was 10 minutes that I was in a trade, and it's 6 sets of 10 minutes, and you multiply that 17 times 6, that could be a pretty decent payday if you think from that angle. Now, of course, if you're standing there shorter and you understand that you're able to get more money in a shorter time frame, all you got to do is increase the contract sizes and be even more profitable. So say you don't plan on staying in long, but you still want to be profitable. You see an A+ setup and you take a profit early like I did, that 17, depending on the contract size, could be 170, could be $1,700 in that same time frame. You just want to develop a consistent win rate based on your strategy, and now you can increase the contract sizes as you get better at it to determine how much money you could potentially make. Mr. Smith signing out. If you want access to this tool, it's available down below. Another A+ setup that ended in profits, and it looks like it's going higher just as the previous one did. But for not making the video too lengthy, I want to cut them short, but let you know that, hey, the A+ setup is still doing what it's supposed to do and having a successful win rate. I've taken some losses on here as well, but I'm learning that if I get good at letting it go towards the TP and taking my profits, I can increase my own win rate just by taking profits early. And then as I start to increase contract size, I can really be profitable. That being said, Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.